Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the breakfast bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
You're watching Bermuda Broadcasting News. It's Friday, April the 6th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. A 30-year-old man has been sentenced to 25 years in jail after being convicted of attempted murder and 3 other weapons charges. Jamika Trot must serve a minimum of 10 years before being considered for parole. Justice Carlisle Greaves said it was the first case of gun violence on the island which did not involve a gang. It was an attack in broad daylight last year that led to Trot facing at least a decade in jail. He turned up at a house on Court Street with a gun, and when his victim jumped from the 2-story building to escape, Trot chased after him, shooting 4 times. CCTV footage shown at the trial showed at one point Trot had the gun at the victim's head, but he missed, resulting in a minor head wound. Prosecutors called the attempted killing a callous act fawned by the flames of revenge and lawlessness, while the defense argued that the case did not involve gangs, so the sentence should be shorter than in other cases. Before sentencing, Trot read a 3-page prepared statement saying he was wrongly convicted of the crime, which was met with a round of applause from the gallery. While Justice Greaves commended Trot for his eloquence, he said the seriousness of the offense meant that it would be treated with the same severity as gang violence. Trot was given 15 years for the attempted murder, with another 10 years for the use of the gun. Those 2 terms will run consecutively, while he was also sentenced to a 12-year concurrent term for carrying and handling the gun. A British man has been fined $1,500 after admitting to being drunk and conducting himself in a disorderly manner on board a plane that was forced to divert to Bermuda yesterday. 39-year-old James Rogers also pleaded guilty to smoking on board a TUI Airways flight from London's Gatwick Airport to Cancun in Mexico. The court heard Rogers was served alcoholic drinks during the flight, but became increasingly aggressive, demanding more from airline staff. After he was informed they were no longer serving beverages, he claimed he was a professional bare-knuckle boxer and threatened to punch staff members. He then said he would smoke in the toilets. Half an hour later, staff found him in the restroom smelling of cigarettes, but he denied smoking. The captain then decided to divert the plane to Bermuda for Rogers to be removed. When the aircraft landed, police observed he was under the influence of alcohol and placed him under arrest. He refused medical treatment at the airport and then repeatedly dropped to the floor, banging his head, causing abrasions to his face. Following treatment at the hospital, Rogers was taken to a police station for processing. He was fined $500 for each of the 3 offenses and ordered to pay the full $1,500 before leaving the island. Dockyard has a brand spanking new visitor service center just in time for next week's arrival of the Norwegian Epic cruise ship. Minister of Economic Development and Tourism Jamal Simmons snipped the ceremonial ribbon this morning, officially opening the center to tourists. It has kiosks to connect visitors with on-island experiences, curated retail items, and a contingent of knowledgeable staff to provide information. 2018 will be a bumper year for cruise ship arrivals. 180 boats are expected. That's 19 more than last year. And most of those ships will be dropping anchor in Dockyard. Tony Waterman caught up with the minister after the event to talk about the National Tourism Plan. But first, she asked him what the visitor center will bring to Dockyard.
Part of Bermuda's heritage in the tourism space is being hospitable and welcoming. With the advent of new technology and new opportunities to be able to expose Bermuda to our visitors as they get off the boat, as they enter Dockyard, is a phenomenal opportunity to broaden the product, make it more accessible to more people, and continue to take to the next level that hospitality for which Bermudians are known.
So the National Tourism Plan, you guys put that out to the public seeking input about a week ago. What sort of response have you seen so far?
First of all, I think it's important that the public is involved in this process. And the reason why is that there are ideas, suggestions, initiatives that could emerge from the public that are just not on the radar of us, the so-called experts. And it would be very interesting, I think, to get the public's perspective. And that perspective becoming a part of the shaping of the plan helps to get buy-in for when the plan is finalized. I think the response so far has been positive. I think that we're looking to do more and get more involvement from the public. And I think that it's a great opportunity for the people to let their voice be heard.
How many responses, though, have you actually received from the public?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I understand that they've been coming in slow and steady.
You talk about perhaps the public having an idea that you guys haven't thought of before. Have you seen that so far in the process?
No, I think that, well, my experience, one of the things I do, I meet with the public every Thursday, members of the public, and people do come forward with great ideas and great suggestions, and to have a formalized process where people can sort of flesh these out and get the framework of it on the radar is valuable.
Do you have any concrete examples that you can share with us?
You'll see some.
Oftentimes when these types of papers or consultations go out to the public, it comes across as almost a token move that you're just sort of going through the motions. How much will the public's input actually drive policy?
Well, I think what you have to first thing to look at is that overall you have a policy agenda and you have things you wish to achieve. But when people can add value to that agenda and add value to the moves we want to do to improve the country, that's important. And so it's not a token gesture at all. I think that when people bring forward things that display value, things that may have not have thought of, things that we can grow on, it's worth it.
We'll have more for you after this short break, including a musical appeal from the regiment and the cost of a year at sea on a tall ship. Stay with us.
You can count on us.
Great for Sunday dinner, certified Angus beef, top sirloin roast, only $9.49 per pound. Halo clementines, just $9.99 for a 3-pound bag. For a cool treat, Breyer's ice cream, only $6.99 for a 48-ounce tub. Ciabatta yogurts, just $1.99 for a 5.3-ounce tub. Keebler double cheese snack mix, only $4.29 for a 9.7-ounce box. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
The whole concept came from the collaboration with BF&M and the America's Cup. The Endeavour program is the legacy of the 35th America's Cup that was here in Bermuda in June. And we've continued the charity now operating in Bermuda. And going forward, we thought, what a great opportunity for children on the autism spectrum. And hence we actually developed the No Limits program. They really do benefit from this kind of outdoor experience, this environment. You know, just yesterday going off the east end of Bermuda, I mean, they wouldn't have done that. Not many children in Bermuda have done that. And just them learning to take control of a large bit of transportation that they're doing at that age, and they may never get that opportunity.
That's where you see the biggest progress is whether they were looking at their hand steering, you know, now they're looking forward and actually looking where they're going because they've realized, oh, I know where my hand is. I can do this without looking at my hand.
We are so grateful for the Endeavour program and what it has done for the students on the autism spectrum.
Welcome back. If you know how to play an instrument or you're a summer student with musical talent, the Royal Bermuda Regiment Band wants to hear from you. The regiment has cast a wide net to help bolster the iconic band so it can boost its presence at traditional events, both locally and overseas. Trot found out what it means to be a member of the Military Music Makers.
They have traveled the world showcasing Bermuda's musical talent, and now the world-class Royal Bermuda Regiment Band is looking for a few good volunteers.
Dwight Robinson.
Major Dwight Robinson is the director of music for the band and corps of drums. He helped steer the band's spectacular performance in South Australia several years ago.
Well, the band, as with any organization, is always looking to find new talent to support its mission and its effort. Many people will say that the band is a lot smaller now than it used to be. That is, in fact, true. When I came in, we were marching 60 people, for instance. Now, on a good parade, we're at about 30, which is okay. But any band officer, any band director will like a larger pool of people that they can draw from.
One initiative Warwick Camp is hoping that will draw additional band members. It's its second summer employment program.
And we're using this opportunity, the Summer Musician Initiative, twofold, to serve that purpose, but also to give some of the local musicians, the local student musicians, an opportunity to continue to perform on their instruments through the summer period and continue the development of that skill set as well.
Fewer soldiers conscripted and a drop in the number of volunteers over the years have contributed toward the need to recruit new band members.
The pool obviously being smaller on the intake is going to affect the numbers of talented persons that we can draw from. So that is one issue. Generally speaking, though, that larger pool didn't always necessarily provide the numbers of musicians that we required.
And if you want to join, you must come with instrumental skills.
Unfortunately, we don't have the time to develop the talent from the very beginning. So what we're asking is that the persons that do express an interest in this particular initiative do come with a skill set already prepared.
The Regiment Band is active throughout the year. It covers events such as the Beat the Retreat annual performance. It performs on demand for select international conventions, the annual Remembrance Day activities, and many others in support of the troops. If you're interested in joining, dial Warwick Camp on 238-2470. Trot reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Warwick Camp says also the summer employment program is great for students who can play their instruments during their summer breaks. It says anyone interested should apply to the regiment directly. And visitors to Hamilton's waterfront will have noticed a tall ship berthed on Front Street. Its Norwegian owners say it's the oldest full-rigged ship in the world still in operation. But it's not crewed by professional sailors. Most of those on board are students in their late teens who study as well as sail. Hal Davis went to meet them and to see their ship.
As with all big sailing ships, the Solander seems to combine beauty with complexity. Its most eye-catching feature, a daunting mass of intertwining ropes and pulleys. Most of the students take part in rigging the ship when at sea, despite the apparent danger of sending non-professionals hundreds of feet up. The captain says training is thorough with safety paramount, while the students we spoke to seem confident after 8 months at sea.
What's most dangerous is being unconfident in the rigging. When you go up and down enough, you build a confidence. And that allows you to kind of not be so afraid, and you kind of get used to it.
As well as a vessel for sailing the oceans, it's also a floating classroom with 60 students spending 10 months abroad before going to university. They left Norway in September, with Bermuda one of their last stops before they return home in 2 months' time. It's clear these students have learnt a lot about the practicalities of crewing a vessel. This group were practicing using an auxiliary pump when we visited. But what do the students think their trip has taught them?
Well, I gained a different perspective of the world, as I've seen many different cultures and I've met a lot of different people. So in that sense, I have gained a different perspective of the world than I had when I left.
Life on board is clearly very different from the students' lives at home. Down below, most of them sleep in hammocks in close proximity. And being forced together does mean they have to get on, teaching them how to live and work together, according to the captain.
I think maybe the main advantage is that when you're doing it on a ship like this, you got to live like there are 60 students living in one room. They have to learn to respect each other, to work together, to help each other. And I think that's the most important thing they learn as a human being when they've been on a ship like this.
While for the students themselves, there's also the thrill of experiences that none of their shorebound friends will have.
It's also those small moments. For example, when you're up in top of the mast, and you just take a moment, and look out in the sea. You see the waves. It's just like you really experience something unique.
Gaining such experiences isn't restricted to Norwegians. The A+ World Academy, as the educational program is called, does take international students. But any Bermudians hoping to take part should start saving soon. The price tag for foreign students is a cool $60,000. Hal Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And still to come, the very latest weather forecast. Will this weekend be bright or blustery? We'll have the answer. Plus, why it may pay to be wary about eating too much of some fruits. Stay with us.
Are you looking to expand your customer base, increase sales, and be a part of the Island Community Events for 2018? Bermuda Broadcasting Company can make that happen.
Be a part of World Cup 2018, Bermuda Day Half Marathon, Bermuda Heroes Weekend, Cup Match Classic, and Eastern Counties Cricket.
Inquire about our new advertising opportunities, whether big or small. We will deliver. Come and see us at Fort Hill, Devonshire, or email us at sales@bbc.pm or send us a message on Facebook at Bermuda Broadcasting.
Showers or sun, gales or light breeze? What's the weather going to be like this weekend? Here with the answers are AccuWeather forecast with the next few days.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM is brought to you by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group. We do have a front moving away to the east, and there's another one that is going to eventually roll into our area, bringing some more showers. Most of the showers, though, on a near-term scale, at least this evening and tonight, are mainly south and east of the island. You can see that's where the bulk of the cloud cover is as well. Looking at the more regional scale, though, to the west, we have some nice breathing room before the next system rolls in. So the satellite estimate of where the rain is falling is showing that most of the widespread action is indeed south and east. We're on the edge of the rain, and the edge of the showers will continue to be just south and east of our area deep into the evening, or at least that's the way it appears. 65 degrees is the current temperature. Humidity 60 to 65%. The wind is pretty active from the east-northeast. It's kind of a cooler breeze right now at 15 to 20 knots, but temperatures not bad. At least the water temps look good. The water temps have been rising up to 70 degrees now. Air temps are 5 degrees cooler than that because of that wind. Waves on the inside 1 to 2 feet. On the outside, they're growing a bit. 4 to 7 footers are churning around out there. And tonight, we do expect to be partly cloudy as the distance between us and those showers begins to increase. They're moving away from us. Breezy, though, 64, your expected low. Will only cool about a degree or two. A small craft warning is in effect again Saturday evening and Saturday night. We want you to be aware of the tide chart here as well. Low tide, 7:13, coming up to high tide around 1:58 a.m. Late tonight. Tomorrow morning, the tide goes out, 8:28 low tide, and then it'll come on back around 2:19 for the high tide time Saturday afternoon. So here's Futurecast showing that, again, that front is off to the east, and we're dealing with what will become more of a cloudier pattern to the south, and we're going to hold on to a slightly drier sky with lower humidity from basically from Bermuda to the north into the day tomorrow. And here we go with the forecast animation showing the wind will pick up from the south a bit, and here's our next front. This next front is going to bring a round of rain to the area early in the new week, but tomorrow, Saturday, looks pretty good. Highs around 72, a little warmer than we are right now, breezy with some sunshine and some clouds, and there could be an afternoon shower or two, but nothing terribly heavy out there. So that's how we're shaping up. The Gateway forecast shows Toronto still running cold. New York City could see some snow showers with a storm system passing mainly south on a chilly Saturday for April in parts of the northeastern U.S. Boston, 48 degrees, very chilly. Atlanta's running chilly. London looks good, though, 60 degrees there. At least the temperature's more comfortable. Down into the Caribbean, scattered showers, 80s for most, 90 in Trinidad. Our local forecast, though, shows those showers and storms at the very beginning of the new week, Sunday specifically into Sunday night. Look out for showers and storms. Monday, we get cooler behind that front, and then showers return Tuesday and Wednesday. Back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
And due to this weekend's poor weather forecast for Sunday, the St. George's Marine Expo has been postponed. It's now scheduled to be held on Ordnance Island on April the 15th from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Organizers say the delay does give extra vendors who wish to take part the opportunity to sign up. Full details are on the St. George's Marine Expo Facebook page. Now, with the sugar tax likely to be with us here in Bermuda shortly, you might be thinking that eating more fruit might be the answer, enabling you to cut your sugar consumption while perhaps saving some money. But it pays to be aware about how much sugar your fruit of choice contains. If you're looking to cut your total sugar intake, CBS's Sophie Heinemann has that story for us.
Davin Giles says he doesn't consume very much refined sugars thanks to being raised on a farm.
We always had a garden. My grandparents had a big garden. Always ate pretty much ate out of the garden.
Giles says he prefers fruit and honey to cure his sweet tooth.
Don't really care for chocolate. My wife thinks I'm weird, but...
And then I usually put a little bit of lime.
Registered dietitian Amanda Lambrecht says consuming natural sugars is a healthier route than chocolate, just as long as you don't overdo it.
I never want to see someone only eating fruit. The recommendation is to get 5 fruits and vegetables a day. Often I'll tell people try to get 2 fruits and then 3 servings of vegetables.
Just keep in mind, while packed with nutrition, fruit is high in carbohydrates. When your carb intake is more than you burn day to day, you may start to increase body fat.
Watch how much you're having at a time, try to space it throughout the day, and try to make sure you're eating foods that have fiber and protein, because that tends to not have such a dramatic spike in blood sugar.
The spike in blood sugar will give you a burst of energy, which may be why some people feel addicted to sugar.
Dietitians say enjoy natural sugar in moderation. In just 2 cups of grapes, there is more sugar than a Snickers bar.
But unlike natural sugars, refined sugars will leave you feeling hungry and tired shortly after.
Sometimes people say that they have a sugar addiction or a craving. Part of that's because we tell ourselves we can't have it, so then instantly we're going to want it.
The feel-good feeling will pass quickly, which is why Lambrecht says if you have a sugar craving, go for fruit high in fiber.
An apple, for example, is going to give you the fiber from the skin. That's going to be beneficial to heart health. It also makes you feel full longer.
Lambrecht's advice for you: if you can't pass up a snack with refined sugar, keep it to 6 teaspoons a day. With HealthBeat, I'm Sophie Heineman.
You can count on us.
Select varieties of fresh attitude salads, just $4.99 for a 5-ounce package. Boneless pork chops or roast, only $4.99 per pound. Ajax regular or with bleach laundry detergent, just $5.89 for a 50-ounce bottle. Sargento shredded cheese, only $3.99 for an 8-ounce package. Crisco vegetable oil, just $3.79 for a 32-ounce bottle. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
The whole concept came from the collaboration with BF&M and the America's Cup. The Endeavour program is the legacy of the 35th America's Cup that was here in Bermuda in June. And we've continued the charity now operating in Bermuda. And going forward, we thought, what a great opportunity for children on the autism spectrum. And hence we actually developed the No Limits program. They really do benefit from this kind of outdoor experience, this environment. You know, just yesterday going off the east end of Bermuda, I mean, they wouldn't have done that. Not many children in Bermuda have done that. And just them learning to take control of a large bit of transportation that they're doing at that age, and they may never get that opportunity.
That's where you see the biggest progress is whether they were looking at their hand steering, you know, now they're looking forward and actually looking where they're going, because they've realized, oh, I know where my hand is. I can do this without looking at my hand.
We are so grateful for the Endeavour program and what it has done for the students on the autism spectrum.
In sports tonight, we get an update from the Commonwealth Games taking part in Australia's Gold Coast. 2 national teams were announced, and a young Bermudian shines in goal for West Ham United. Earl Basin has the details and much more in tonight's sports report.
2 big announcements took place earlier today, with the under-17 women's national team announced, as well as the national cricket team for Malaysia announced. But first, we're going to go to Couture Horton Parent Chief, the Commonwealth Games chef de mission for Bermuda, as the Bermuda team get ready for the team triathlon tomorrow.
You know, it's anybody's game. It depends on how the team meshes, how they work, and they had a pretty lengthy strategy meeting this evening, all 4 of them, and their coach and their manager, and they're rearing and ready to go, so we're ready to get out there and support them.
The Bermuda Under-17 women's national team was announced, with Bermuda Football Association Technical Development Director Maurice Lowe explaining what he's looking for from the young ladies in the group matches.
To really give a good account of ourselves and be competitive. So for Canada and Costa Rica, we haven't played them before. We've played the US previously, and in that match, you know, they beat us heavily in that match. So that gives us a gauge of what could happen if things went terribly wrong. So knowing that, we're looking to be competitive. But just like everyone else in this competition, we qualified to be in this round of the competition. So all of the positives that could come out of being in this tournament are open to us as well, which is world qualifications.
Bermuda's national cricket team was announced earlier today at a press conference with national coach Clay Smith announcing the team that will represent Bermuda at the upcoming World Cricket League Division 4 tournament in Malaysia.
Team is as follows: Taryn Frey captain, Dion Stovall vice captain, Gennaro Tucker, Stephen Bremer, Akira Bascom, Charles Trot, Stephen Outerbridge, Tracy James, Kamal Labrock, Jacoby Robinson, Mackay Simmons, CJ Outerbridge, Kyrie Smith, and Trey Manders. Standby players are Jordan Smith, Zico Burgess, and Cameron Jeffers.
New team captain Taryn Frey is looking forward to the challenge.
I think that the team that we have now is a pretty strong team, especially seeing some of the performances done in Argentina. We played really well, you know, the togetherness was there, and some cameos that we hadn't seen in a while blossomed during that tour, so it's promising.
West Ham's Nathan Trot pulled off some incredible saves last evening as he helped West Ham United's under-23 team defeat Manchester City away from home.
I was really proud of my performance. This is what goalkeepers are supposed to do, you know, you're supposed to make these saves in these big games. I think in this season, we're like in the position that we are now and where we want to be. 3 points today was really important, so I think it's really good that I could help the team out today.
Bermuda international Dante Lavrock was named to the Estonia Premier Team of the Month for March. Lavrock scored in 3 games in the month and helped his team, JK Navra's Trend, to move to the top of the table. Tahira Butterfield represented Albany women's track and field at the Florida Relays, competing in 2 relay events. In the women's 4x200 meter relay, Butterfield helped Albany finish 16th in the college division, clocking a time of 1:38.39. During the women's 4x100 meter relay, the Albany team, that also included Butterfield, finished 12th in the college division, stopping the clock in 45:32. Bermuda sailor Peter Dill, who attends Landing School in Maine, represented the school during the BU Trophy Regatta hosted by the Boston University. Landing finished 13th with a total of 260 points. Dill sailed the school's B Division boat, recording 4 top 10 finishes out of the 11 races sailed. James Finnegan and his Florida Tech men's tennis teammates packed the van and headed down to West Palm Beach, Florida to take on the number 21 ranked Palm Beach Atlantic. Finnegan and his teammates gave it their all, but they went down 8-1. Playing in the number 2 double spot, Finnegan and Ricardo Corona went down 8-5. And in the singles, Finnegan took on Philip Hoffman in the number 2 spot and went down in straight sets 6-4, 6-1. Braxton Stowe and his St. Louis University men's baseball teammates have been one of the best teams in college baseball over the last month. The team has hit 11 home runs during their 15-game winning streak, and their conference opponents, VCU, were riding a 13-game streak of their own. But Stowe and St. Louis would shock them out 9-0. Stowe, who started the game on the bench, did come into the game at first base and managed to assist in 4 putouts. He also struck out in his only appearance at the plate. Gabriella Arnold and her Marion University cycling teammates began competing in the University of Louisville Midwest College Cycling Conference road race. Arnold, competing in the women's A Division time trial, finished 11th, clocking 28:59. The Bermuda Volleyball Association are sending 3 girls teams to Tampa, Florida to compete in the 2018 Tampa United Slam. The 2-day tournament, held at the Tampa Convention Center, will take place on April 7th and 8th. The tournament has 157 registered teams. The Little Hitters are competing in the 14 and under club division, while the Junior Hitters are competing in the 16 and under club division. The Paradise Hitters will compete in the 17 and under club division. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
And finally, the weekend is just kicking off, but if you have some free time tomorrow, you may want to swing by City Hall to check out the Bermuda Society of Art's new exhibition. It features the art of Bermuda College art students. We'll leave you with images of their work. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.